And to be able to play on this Heat roster, you're gonna have to be in shape, and that's a point of emphasis.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Today, we're going to get into some NBA talk today. We're here joined with Greivis Vasquez, who, obviously, I want you to give a little bit about yourself, talk a little bit about your NBA career before anything, but definitely want to touch on the Heat, right? The Heat are off to a great start this year. There was a lot of questions as to what was this Heat team going to look like, right? And I think they've shown what their identity is going to be going into this season. But appreciate you for being here. And
mi hermano.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, thank you for having me. We're doing great things over here, so you guys know, right here.
Absolutely.
Stay Tranquilo is like doing great things in the Miami area. So shout out to everyone here in Miami. 305, yeah. So former NBA player, played in the league for around 8 years. Really understand the game of basketball, love the game of basketball. Coming from Venezuela, Caracas, Venezuela. Now doing something different since I retired. Unfortunately, 6 surgeries on my right ankle, so I wasn't be able to continue to play. But I'm here doing other things. I'm working with the Stay Tranquilo, so I'm excited about that. And also doing other things in terms of like TV analysts and working with the NBA still, which is important. So, but right now, the most important thing is the Miami Heat.
Absolutely.
I truly believe the Heat culture is the last decade got to be the most or one of the most productive team and efficient teams. And when you talk about offense and defense, especially,
right?
And without any hesitation, to me, the best coach the last decade has to be Erik Spoelstra and what he's able to do and have done through the NBA and from the beginning to even right now is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like a video coordinator at
Yeah,
first.
He was a video guy, watching the tape in the film room. Not really much of any coaching experience, and then just did everything right and was saying all the right things in the room. And I think a guy like Pat Riley saw the work ethic. Erik bled Heat culture. Fit that mold as to what the identity was being built. I think through Pat Riley at the time, and then essentially the rest is history with Spo.
Well, you say Pat Riley. I love that man. When you talk about basketball, you have to mention Pat Riley and what he's done through his active career as a player, as a coach, as a GM, as a president of operation, and what he has done in terms of like Miami Heat. I think when you talk about the Miami Heat, you got to mention Pat Riley. I think Pat Riley 100%. Discovered Spoelstra, and you know what I like about Pat Riley, and some of the fans might don't like this, and this is Greivis, you guys gonna get to know me. Like, he don't really care. It's about his vision. When you talk about LeBron James and the players that played in for the Miami Heat, they have to play for the name of the jersey in the front of the jersey. They don't have to play for their names or themselves. I mean, you talk about, okay, to me, the conversation with LeBron was like, okay, Bron, you're really good, probably the best player in the world as of right now, but it's my culture. It's what I say. He's the boss. You know what I mean? So even without LeBron, the Heat still was productive and efficient and very successful. So you gotta have a lot of balls to be able to talk to probably one of the best players, or probably the best player of the history of the game, and tell LeBron, hey, you can go wherever you want to go. We want to continue with our culture here. This is Heat culture, and we're gonna wish you the best. And that's Pat Riley. And that's why this team been successful the last couple of years, the last decade. And talking about Spoelstra, like how he developed Spoelstra to be the head coach he is right now. Because back in the days, we used to talk about Greg Popovich and how good he was. And as a coach, now he's having another role with the San Antonio Spurs. But it reminds me of that story. And even with that, we gotta give him his flower too. Spoelstra is just name it the head coach of the U.S. team, and that's huge.
That tells you everything.
after sitting on the bench for so many years and able to work with Coach K, Steve Kerr, and now even Greg Popovich before Coach K. That's huge. I mean, he's paying the price to be probably a Hall of Famer eventually because what he's done in terms of like winning and developing players in the NBA. Like I say, as of right now, to me, he's the best head coach in the league.
Yeah, no, it's impressive what Spo has been able to do over the course of the years. You know, you go into these seasons, right, where the Heat have made NBA Finals. You know, outside of the LeBron era, right, you had LeBron, Bosh, Wade. We were heavy favorites, obviously, going into that stretch, right? And some people say 2 out of 4 was a disappointment with that era. But you won against Popovich, right? You won against the Dallas Mavericks team with Nowinski at the time. You know, that first year with LeBron.
I remember that final,
which was tough, right? I mean, LeBron wasn't playing well, you know, which that had a factor into that first series. And Nowinski was just due, right? We had already beat them once. Nowinski needed to get that ring. So I think you look at those 4, you know, NBA Finals appearances. You won 2 of them, but the 2 that you lost, I mean, you won against teams that were going to be tough to beat.
And you were playing against great teams. So you mentioned Dirk. I mean, Dallas. I mean, I remember covering that game, and I was a rookie. I was an active player. I remember going to, I think, the first game of the series, or the second game of the series. It was here in Miami. And I remember, like, Braun coming on a fast break, and he just find D-Wade on the right corner by himself, and D-Wade just hit a huge 3-point shot. He made a 3-point shot, and he was just like dancing and having fun, and that was by the bench of the Dallas Mavericks. And then Dirk got really mad. He really got upset, and then I was just, you know, as a former athlete, and even now I was able to see, like, oh, he's gonna get hot. And then the second half, by the fourth quarter, the game was just, the pace just changed in favor of Dallas. Yeah. They were playing really well. And then I remember, like, during the whiskey, hit a big shot. That's the beauty of the game of basketball. Hit a big shot in the corner by the bench of the Heat. And all of his teammates were, like, dancing and jumping and celebrating and being funny. And Dirk was like, hey, cut it out. I don't like that. Let's just be professional.
Right.
And I, you know, as a young player, when I saw Dirk doing that, I'm like, oh, they're gonna win it. I mean, this guy's like, he's in a on a revenge mood, and he was so focused on trying to win that particular game that was the game. That was the most important game, because that game really helped them to win the NBA Finals. So I remember the final. And overall, like you say, I thought the Heat did a good job winning 2 out of 4. I mean, it's hard winning a basketball game.
Just going to 4 in a row is crazy.
And you also gotta remember the way that LeBron announced the fact that he was gonna go to, like, he was gonna take his talent to South
Beach. Yeah.
I thought I was questionable. I don't think he handled the whole situation properly, and he put a lot of pressure of himself, and being the best player, you have to live with that, and that was, to me, that was a factor that really hurt in terms of, like, winning, even though they won, but it was tough. So, but winning 2 championships out of 4 against teams that were really good, San Antonio Spurs,
great team, I mean, Popovich there on the other side, yeah,
and the first finals they played against. They basically
they snuck it. I mean, that was the Ray Allen.
And look, I know you're a Heat fan, but we had to be.
They had the trophy out there for San Antonio, ready to go. You know, I think it was Game 6, right? They had the trophy out. They're ready to put the trophy in Popovich's hands and say they win. And then Ray Allen obviously hits one of the most remarkable shots, obviously, in Miami Heat history, and maybe one of the top ones in NBA Finals history.
And we were talking about Popovich, and a lot of reporters and the media really questioned Popovich because he set Tim Duncan on the bench.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So he didn't have his rebound.
Yeah, so it was like
Bosh was able to.
Bosh created. Bosh grabbed the offensive rebound, and he just find in the right corner. Ray Allen, that was an unbelievable 3.
Insane.
That was one of the best finals, like, that have to, even in nowadays, that's have to be one of the best shot that Ray Allen hit.
Absolutely.
His career.
100%.
And I love Ray Allen.
Yeah. But no, yeah, you've seen obviously what the Heat have been able to do. And then it's always been like this grit with this team, right? You know, with the Jimmy Butler era as well, you know, obviously you lose LeBron, but they've always found a way to be in contention, right? Then you lose Jimmy. You went to the finals twice with Jimmy. You had the bubble year where unfortunately Bam gets hurt and Goran Dragic gets hurt, right? Which ultimately I think was the difference maker in that series. Obviously you're going against LeBron and, you know, LeBron's LeBron. But that was a tough break and the Jimmy era essentially ends, right? Jimmy wants his way out. And then here we are today.
Let's pause it right there.
Yeah.
Like Jimmy era. Like it all ends with Pat. Like Pat is the boss. Like if you come to Miami, you gotta understand like it's Pat Riley's culture.
Right.
And some of the players probably don't like and I was, looking at different reporters and even former players, active players, like, oh, I ain't going to the Heat. Like you cannot question anything about Pat Riley because he's been successful as a player, as a coach, and as a GM, and as a president of operations. So, like, you can really argue or trying to be disrespectful or
right.
trying to stand yourself with respect with against Pat Riley because it's whatever he say, and that's something that we like players and former players, even coaches, have to respect. Like, I mean, he's done so much. Oh, he's done enough, more than enough to have that type of reputation. But let's just be honest. Like people knew that it was a little.
Of course,
it was something going on between Pat Riley and Jimmy Butler, and we all know.
There's no secrets on that.
And with that being said, I mean, we also have to give credit to one of the best players in the league as of right now, Jimmy Butler, and what he's done with the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
I mean, he was able to win games.
I mean, you look at like that series with Milwaukee.
Yeah,
right?
Unbelievable. Yes,
unreal. I mean, it's unfortunate that we didn't win, obviously, the NBA Finals those years, but that just because of like the identity of that team, coming in, one year as the 1 seed and then another year as the 8 seed, right? And just having a fight, right? I think we were underdogs in every single game that we played in that finals run.
Wow, you went to the conference finals, you went to the NBA Finals. With that type of roster, and nothing against the roster,
but it wasn't on paper the best. That's for sure.
Exactly, on paper wasn't the best. So like, then who do you attribute all the success besides the players?
Right.
Like you have to talk about the front office because when you talk about the NBA, probably the best league in the world right now as entertainment, you also have to talk about the business. Like to get a roster together. It takes a lot, like, and then we can go on and on. Like, we can do another episode talk about OKC and what they have done, the front office, in terms of building roster. So, with the Pat Riley in the front office, leading by Pat Riley, they've done a tremendous job just acquiring players that already have a great career in the NBA. That's even harder. Obviously, Miami is very attractive.
Of
like,
course.
Who doesn't want to come to Miami
and play some basketball?
And play some basketball here. So it's so many different things going on. It's sunny out at all times. So weather is nice. So that's an attribute.
Yeah.
But you also got to give them credit. Like the front office did a great job, even after the LeBron era. I mean, you bring Jimmy Butler, and he was able to do. He was able to be this leader that they wanted to. And it really like what did Jimmy Butler brings to the table? Physicality, defense, professionalism. Even though sometimes he gets irritated, he got his personality, which I love. I love him. I like how like the dog attitude he has. Like, hey, it's not here. If you come near me, you have to work harder than me. You have to be better than me. So that type of attitude, I love it. So. They were able to like work things out pretty well, and then you got to mention Tyler Herro. I mean, Ben Adebayo. I mean, what they have done as a trio when they were together, it was unbelievable. So a lot of credit also to the coaching staff. Spoelstra was able to put something together, and the biggest thing that Spoelstra does as a coach is just like, and the culture is like defense. I was never able to play with the Miami Heat because I was a horrible defender, and I wanted to play for the Heat. And why? Because obviously it's a lot of Venezuelans, a lot of people from South America here. So, but if you want to play for the Heat, you got to play defense, and that's why they have been successful the last decade.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, defense has been the identity with this team, but it's also, right, you lean so much on the defense, physicality. But one thing that's always kind of been a problem with this team is the offensive side of the ball, right? And I think they run obviously a lot of ISO, and they've leaned on their superstars to run that ISO between Tyler Herro, Jimmy Butler, the LeBron era, Wade. I mean, there was opportunities to be able to run ISO, but now when on paper your roster is not as talented, you may not be able to run a lot of that ISO. And I want to get into a little bit of what like this Heat team right now looks like, right? We're 7 games into the season. We're sitting at 4-3. But if you watch this team, it looks like a completely different identity, right? I've never seen, and it's one of the things that we want to talk about, is the way they play, the tempo, right? Talk to me a little bit about that tempo that they're playing with right now, because it's something we haven't seen.
Well, first I was, if we watch what happened last year at the end of the season, where they got into the play-in, and they were able to get into the playoff, but they struggled in the playoff. They lost the way they lost. It was really embarrassed. That's what Coach Spoelstra was saying. So he said with Pat Riley, and he was like, and we have to change our style. We got to do something different. I can't go to sleep. This is irritated. So this is a new Heat team. This is, even though it's a new roster, different roster, I will say, they playing basketball in a different way. And how is that different way? Well, they playing faster. You're talking about pace. What is pace? It's creating more possessions per minute. So right now they probably average 106.
It's 105.8. So yeah, 106
per 48
which is
minutes.
Per 48 minutes. Number 1 in the NBA.
So that is saying that they playing super fast. And what's playing fast? Meaning that you running on fast break a lot, and also you're playing fight out. Fight out is like you don't stand, but you space properly around the 3-point line, and you drive and kick out,
right.
And then you re-drive and kick it out again until you find the best shot. And it can happen twice, or it can happen once, and then you take a 3-point shot, which is the fastest shot.
Right.
But they only shoot layups and 3-point shots. And so it's a different it's a different type of strategy from last year or the previous year,
right.
where it's more ISO.
ISO, a lot of pick and roll action,
which it takes more time into the 24 shot clock. So what is that telling you? That in a way now, Spoelstra is bringing what he's taking from the U.S. team, the U.S. national team. Why? Because you're talking about Steve Kerr, and I'm not going to say that Golden State played or the Miami Heat plays the same as Golden State, but they have some similarities. You know what I mean? They kind of played the same, not the same, but kind of the same this season, this year. So they creating more possession. They playing faster, and they don't even have probably their best offensive player yet.
That's the crazy part.
Tyler Herro. So people were questioning like, oh, is he gonna adjust to this type of offense? This is probably one of the most skilled players. Like this guy, Tyler Herro, is one of the most talented players, guards in the NBA, especially in the East. He can freaking score.
Yeah.
So if you playing into a faster pace, that means defense has to be really worried. And obviously, when you talk about Tyler Herro, it's a guy that needs to have the ball in his hand. So I think the only thing he's gonna need to adjust is the fact that he gotta make even quicker decisions with the basketball. Meaning you're gonna have to drive fast, or you're gonna have to take the 3-point shot. And more so, we were talking off the record, like, is that really gonna affect their defense?
Right.
Most likely do. But if you talk about the Miami Heat, the Pat Riley culture, the Erik Spoelstra culture, the Heat culture, you're talking about teams that are an unbelievable shape. Exactly. Like they work so hard during the off season, and they're like conditioning and how well conditioned they are. Like it's gonna affect in a way, but it's not really gonna hurt them like to the point that they're gonna lose games because of that. They're gonna really. I feel that they're gonna adjust to the change. It's not gonna be a problem, because at the end of the day, when you talk about the Heat, the identity is defense. So they know how to play defense. So they haven't lost that side of like, okay, no. They're not lazy defensively. They're just trying to add something to their game, which is be more as a threat offensively.
Right. Yeah. And if you look at the numbers right now, right, we're third in points per game, second in assists, and then defensively we're 15th in opponents per points per game. So obviously still very early in the season, but it's not like defense, and you're able to make up some of that with the way that you're running your offense. But although they rank 15th in opponents points per game, their defensive efficiency is top 3. So when they're on that side of the court, they're still playing top tier defense.
Let's just say it again. I will say it again. Like Erik Spoelstra is one of the best coaches, probably the best coach in the NBA. He knows what he's doing. They just renewed his contract. He's making a lot of money and he's earning his dollars. I mean, this guy and his coaching staff, they do a great job. I mean, they not. And I was reading something about Draymond Green talking about like. To win NBA Finals, you have to play you have to be the best defensive team.
I saw that.
And KD, my boy, I love you. He was saying, but what about the offense? The offense is always going to be important, especially in today's NBA.
Yeah, we've seen it with the Heat.
But defense wins championships. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It happens that you have probably one of the best scorers in the NBA in Kevin Durant. That's going to help. But like what the Heat is able to do year after year is like, okay, we are really good defensively. Now, how can we pass to the fact that we get to the conference finals?
Right.
Or past the fact that, we don't want to be in the play-in anymore. We want to, get to the playoff as a second seed, as the first seed, and then compete in the playoff. And when we get to the conference finals, because we have experience getting there.
Exactly.
This is when we're gonna, be able to execute offensively much better than the previous year that we weren't be able to.
Right.
An NBA champion.
Yeah. I think this roster as a whole also is better constructed than maybe it's been over the course of the last 2-3 years, right? Bringing in Norman Powell, who's a guy that averages 24 points a game. You have Andrew Wiggins, very defensive, focused kind of guy, right?
And familiar with the pace offensively too, because he's coming from
Golden State. Yeah, right. And then you have Davion Mitchell, who they brought in, super Heat culture guy.
Let me get that pass right there. What about that guy, Davion Mitchell? What he's bringing to the freaking table, bro. He's a freaking dog. He reminds me of Kyle Lowry on his prime, bro. I love this kid. I love him. You know what I love about him? Like he's not afraid. He's that type of Pat Riley player. Like, hey, get on the ball, turn his back, making the initiated offense, like turning his back. This guy, like, I don't like even now. I wouldn't want to be playing against him because as a 6'5" point guard, able to have a guy like him, physical, fast, able to move his feet so well defensively. And guess what? The offense, this type of system right now for the Heat is really helping him offensively. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna get his shot much better. He's gonna hit that three because that's one thing you get better in the NBA.
Yeah.
You already playing. Like I remember when I was a former NBA player, I was like coaches meeting. Like one of my coaches used to tell me, like, if you're able to defend 70% of your possession in terms of like, if you're not a liability defensively, you're gonna be able to start in this league. So like when you talk about starting point guards, they able to defend 90%, 80% of their possession. So they probably the best defender on whatever roster you play. You know what I mean? So like Davion Mitchell is one of those guys that he's gonna be able to be a starting point guard for an NBA team because he plays good defense. And lucky him, I will say that now the offensive system of the Heat is much faster in terms of pace. He's a fast player.
Right.
He's really fast.
He fits into that
system. He fits into that system perfectly. So, and that's why I want to do like a small timeout with him because to me, he's the X factor for that team. I really like what he brings to the table.
Absolutely. I think we've seen it on the defensive side with him. He's physical. He plays tight, right? He's like you said. He's that guy that you don't want on you when you have the ball in your hand.
Not
and
at
you've
all.
seen it. You've seen
Por favor,
kind of the chaos.
Por favor, no.
But real quick, kind of one other guy that I think also deserves some love because he had a down year last year, right? Great rookie year, down year second year, and now off to a super hot start. Jaime Jaquez. Jaime seems like a guy that is thriving in this quick pace. Seeing him come down the court, they're inbounding the ball, right? And now they're already moving, right? He's catching the ball with movement in his hands when they're inbounding the ball. And he is straight downhill the whole way and driving it in, right? He sees that the floor is spread out and he's going straight to the hole, drawing fouls, being efficient by the basket. That is a Jaime that, we saw glimpses of, I think, his first year.
Yeah.
Didn't really see much of it last year. And then now here he is right off the start of the season, taking advantage of a guy like, Tyler minutes not being there. Him in this system seem to be a good fit as well.
Let's also say that the fact that he was a rookie last year, it's always hard to be a rookie on a Heat roster. I don't see any rookies really thriving.
No, absolutely not.
And be like, as a rookie, if you're an agent and you're trying to send a rookie to a team, definitely not the Miami Heat. It's tough.
It's tough.
And I won't say, I'm not going to say it in a bad way.
You're seeing it with Khalil Ware right now a little bit.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly. So I think Jaime was going through a tough situation last year in terms of like being a rookie, understanding what the philosophy is with the coaching staff. And we talk about defense. Let's go back to defense. Like, I was looking through different articles on the media and of Jaime, and he was like, you know what? I took it personal. I know what a good defender is because the Heat culture. So it's not me playing okay defense on the ball. It's me stopping my guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? That mentality. That's the Heat mentality. That's the Erik Spoelstra mentality. Like, you got to play defense first. Even though they have a different offensive system this year. So I thought he got much better throughout the offseason. And Jaime he took it personal. Like, I say, look, I'm not sitting on the bench. I'm gonna prove myself. I'm an NBA player, which is the right mindset when you play in the best league in the world.
Absolutely.
And he's averaging 16.9 points a game.
Exactly.
16 points per game. 6 rebounds. And 4 assists. Like, if he's able to get his rebounds up a little more, 8 rebounds, 2 more, then we're talking about him, not only establishing himself, asking even for more minutes.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because rebounding is important. But 4, almost 5 assists per game, that is also very attractive on a guy like 6'6". He's a scorer. He's able to score. He's able to use his physical, like his athleticism. He's not the most fastest guy, but he's able to use his body. You know what I mean? He's able to absorb contact and able to finish while somebody's, hitting him like fouling hard or whatever. So I really like his game. I believe going into his second year and it's early in the season, I think he's going to have a great season because he is focused, and more so because he had a great summer, and during the off season he was working really hard. And I believe as a Mexican, obviously Jaime, his national team is going to help him a lot if he's able to play with his national team, because that happened to a lot of international players. Here's one that really helped myself tremendously during the summer, especially when you're able to play to qualify to World Cups and to qualify to pre-Olympics and all those type of tournaments is good because you're playing against a great athletes as well. Right. So, and that's also give you continuity. You know what I mean? Like throughout the off season, when you get to the NBA season, then you're able to do what he's doing right now. But I'm with you. You're absolutely right. What Jaime is doing right now is very impressive. And once again, like people were talking a little shit about, Spoelstra don't liking Jaime and all that, but like he's rewarding Jaime and his work ethic.
Absolutely.
And that just being the best coach. That's doing the right thing. That's why that's what the Heat culture is about, doing the right thing. You got to earn it first. And that's what Jaime is doing right now.
True. Yeah. And one other key stat, he's shooting 60% from the field right now. So efficient, high quality shots. Like I think that's what this offense looks like. I mean, you got Bam shooting 46%, Norman Powell shooting 50%, Andrew Wiggins 51%, Fontecchio 51%. He's been great from the 3-point line, right? So it's a well-built team, and I think we haven't even hit the surface, right? You talk about guys like Khalil Ware, Jovic, right? Guys that I think have a ton of potential on this roster as well.
You said it right. Like Jovic, 6'10" guy. I would love to see him more. You know, I think he was like. I don't think is he injured.
I mean, I know he was playing the other day against.
Yeah, because he was a guy
against,
that I was doing.
LA.
He's a guy that when I was talking on through my pod, the assist about the preview of the season of the Miami Heat. Nikola Jovic is a guy that is very talented, 6'10" guy. They can very versatile, can hit the three. Can open up the floor even more since they playing fight out offensively. So I would love to see him more, more involved and more aggressive. I don't know what's going on. I don't think he's playing enough minutes, and I think in that part of that is the fact that Jaime is playing really well.
Yes,
and he's playing big.
True.
What I mean by that, like he's 6 rebounds. 4 assists. That's playing big. That's creating possessions for your team. And right now, I think Jovic is not doing that as the beginning of the season. So he's only averaging 8 points per game, 4 rebounds per game, and 2 assists per game. And when we talk about rebounds, he's only 4 rebounds per game. Maybe he's playing less minutes than Jaime with that differential of 2 rebounds. Is huge in the NBA. So that's a guy that I would love to see. And I truly believe that's a guy that is going to adjust his game and he's going to do much better as he's doing right now. And I'm looking forward to see him not only hitting shots, but being really having a presence defensively as well.
Absolutely. I think it's him and Khalil Ware. If you can get those 2 guys to start seeing their ceiling, right? Seeing that next step in their game. Because you've seen flashes. Like you mentioned, they shoot the 3 ball well, spread the floor out. This Heat team can be ridiculously dangerous if you had those 2 guys.
No doubt.
It's the depth, and I think that's where this Heat team in the past has always been well, right? It's like the rotations, the different rotations that come through, whether it's Tyler Herro on the floor, Norman Powell, Bam, Khalil Ware, Jovic, right? Jaquez. That's a tough rotation through 4 quarters of different rotations throughout the game to be able to guard all day.
Andre, and also we don't talk enough, and I say this in terms of like media about like being in shape.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about NBA, we're talking about NFL, we're talking about MLB. Like,
so true.
You gotta work on your body, you gotta work on your conditioning. You know what I mean? Like that takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
And to be able to play on this Heat roster, you're gonna have to be in shape, and that's a point of emphasis. Like I cannot say that enough. Like these guys are like in absolutely amazing shape, conditioning wise. Like these guys are able to play that fast and able to play defense as good. The rest is gonna be history. Why? Because the Heat culture finds a way to win NBA games. Like they've proven that.
Yeah.
Going into the conference finals, going to the NBA finals, like. And you look at the roster, like on paper, they don't have the roster, but on the floor they put it together really well. And like I said, you have to give credit to the coaching staff, but more so like the professionalism of the players when they adjust and merge with the coaching staff. Then they're gonna be a really scary team to be, especially when Tyler Herro comes back and he's able to adjust to this new offensive system. And the way he's gonna be able to score and help to spread out the floor because this is a guy that can really score. So I'm looking forward to see what the Heat are capable to do throughout the whole season.
Yeah, absolutely. Tyler Herro coming back is going to be like that big question, right? Because you see the momentum already with this offense. So I'm excited to see what Herro's going to be able to do. And I'm just excited to see this Heat team, coming into shape, right? We've seen a lot of these guys and have a lot of question marks around them, but seeing them actually become the guys that we hope them to be is great. But you got anything else about this Heat team?
Well, you know what? I think they're gonna win their division.
Wow.
And I think they're not gonna go to the play-in if everyone is healthy, which I think they do a good job taking care of of the players. And I know the medical team. I know them well. They do a good job as well. So I believe they continue with this pace. I know they're gonna have a lot of different questions because we haven't seen the Heat playing this type of offense, but I think they are capable, and they've proven that they are capable. I think they're gonna be fine too throughout the season, and I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised like in the past.
Right. At this point, there is no reason to be surprised with this Heat team.
I won't be surprised. I mean, to me, that's important. And last but not least, I'll say it again. I want to congratulate. I'm really excited about the fact that Erik Spoelstra is going to be the new head coach of the U.S. National team. That's huge, and I think he's, being as a former player, being in like an NBA locker room. I'm sure he's motivated to have a great year with the Heat going into like the summer and able to coach the U.S. national team. And look, every team at the right time, one day at a time. But as of right now, he deserved that job because he earned it.
Amen to that.
And he did a tremendous job throughout the last decade, not only being patient, but being professional. Because while he was winning NBA finals, he was also sitting on the U.S. team bench, and he wasn't trying to act like he was better than the head coach that was there in terms of like Greg Popovich, in terms of like Coach K.
Right.
He was actually working to represent his national team, his country, and he was able to wait patiently until this opportunity to become a head coach. To me, that's a dream come true, and I'm sure he's like thankful about that, and he's taking an extra motivation, and obviously he's on the not half seat, but I will say he's on a high scale of expectations, especially with this start with the Heat. But with that, I mean, if you in Miami, hey, let's go support the Heat. I mean, it's our local team, and it's it's really entertained to go to a Heat game, and especially when 80% of the home games they have a chance to win. So that makes it even more fun to go with.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I'm hyped. I'm hyped that basketball season's here. I'm hyped that the Heat are off to a good start. We'll do more of these throughout the season.
For sure.
Provide some updates, tap into some other teams maybe that are playing well throughout the year, but it's basketball season. And
stay tuned, stay tranquilo, stay tuned.
Yes, sir. Thank you as always for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yes, sir.